Namaste, Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. English translation is Om, may we both be protected, may we both be nourished, may we work together with great energy and enthusiasm, may our study be brilliant and effective, may we not misunderstand and fight with each other. Peace, peace, peace. So today we are going to discuss why one should study Geeta. So when we buy an appliance, we get a manual with it so that we use the appliance effectively, efficiently. If a problem comes, we refer to the manual to solve it. The manual has information where to get help, warranty information, etc., etc. However, when we are born, we also have equipment, body, mind, and intellect, our three main instruments or equipments. Where is our manual? We need that too. So, the Vedas are our manuals. This is manuals of life. How to live correctly and efficiently, that is revealed in the Vedas. And what are these Vedas? These Vedas are eternal. They are called Apurusheya, meaning not written by any humans. So where did they come from? These mantras in the Vedas were revealed to saints and sages in their intense meditation. In our modern language, we can say that this information was downloaded directly to them from higher source. You can call it divinity or God. And then what happened? Ved Vyasji, 5,000 years ago, organized and compiled all these mantras into 4 Vedas. So the key word over here is compiled. He did not write it himself. He just compiled all these various mantras that were revealed to so many different rishi munis in their meditation. And because these Vedas are very vast, they're very bulky, thousands of shlokas and mantras are there. And most of the people, 80% of the people roughly are probably interested in fulfilling their desires, a lot of worldly desires, and after worldly desire to go to heaven and things like that. So the remedies is given in the Vedas to how to fulfill those desires with dharma. So that's 80% of the Vedas is that. And then 16% is upasana, different methods of worship and all that. And 4% of Vedas is Upanishads. And this is, Upanishads is called Vedanta. So in the Upanishad, nature of Brahman, or the ultimate reality you can say, or ultimate truth is revealed. And methods of realizing it, which is the purpose of human life. And then, so what it reveals to us is how to attain that highest state, which is the main subject of the Upanishad. And that's called Atmagyan or self-knowledge. What is it and how to abide in it, that also is mentioned in these Vedas. And in Upanishads, I mean. So, in nutshell, these Upanishads are like part of all the 4 Vedas, and there are about few hundreds of them, these Upanishads, out of which about 101 are well known, and out of these 101, 11 are quite significant. And on these 11, Adi Shankaracharya ji wrote commentaries on it, and then many more saints and sages wrote further commentaries on it and all. you can find these days, everywhere. So these Upanishads are called Vedanta, and the literal meaning of Vedanta is end of Vedas. It doesn't mean that Vedas are done with or something like that. No, it means the final knowledge of Veda. That's why it's called Vedanta. After that, nothing needs to be known anymore, or that there is nothing to be known beyond that. Or another way of looking at it, this is what worth knowing, really, the final knowledge. So, Upanishads have the essence of the entire Vedas, and it is usually a conversation between guru and disciple. And the students are also very, very highly advanced. They are not ordinary people. And they have learned a lot. They know a lot. They're very bright. And one of the issues they might be having is they don't have the final experience yet. So now they are having a conversation with their guru, how to attain that. So now we saw that Vedas are vast, they are difficult to read and to understand. One lifetime may not be enough. And Upanishads are also many hundreds, that they are not that easy to tackle because all the things are given like sutras. Shlokas are very brief and the language can be mystical and subtle. So what do? So that's where Bhagavad Gita comes in. So it's very important to know that this Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. What Lord Krishna did, he packaged all the knowledge of the Upanishads for our benefit in a very easy to understand way. He made it really palatable for us. We can digest it easily. And in just 700 verses, Lord Krishna packed the entire essence of Upanishads. Imagine you don't have to study anything else. You got the essence of entire Veda and Upanishad if you study Gita. So it tells us the goal of life, which is self-realization, and how to attain it also. Or you can even say it tells about Brahma Vidya. Goal of life is Brahma Vidya. And then it shows the path, how to reach that. So that path is called Yoga Shastra. So usually they say Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. It is both. So it's also like you can say in another words, it is a book of knowledge of self and also a science or how to achieve that. So the path is like the three main yogas, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And it explains in detail all these three main yogas exhaustively in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is also conversational style, like, just like Upanishads. So conversation between, all of us know, Arjun and Lord Krishna. It's very interesting read because it's a conversational style. But something very important. Here Arjun represents people like us. We who are householders, if we are not really sannyasis or anything, and we have our day-to-day problems. We are married, we have children, we have desires, we have ambition, we got to go to work, and we have lots of questions. So the material in Gita is more close to our heart, more palatable, more understandable, more digestible. And Lord Krishna precisely chose Arjun for that reason. Only one quality we have to develop like Arjun. What? We have to be open-minded to listen to what Lord Krishna is saying and try to understand it and digest it. And next, most important reason why we should study and read and understand and contemplate on Gita is this following point. What do we all want in our life? What is that one common factor entire living kingdom has? If we think deeply, we'll come to the conclusion that the entire living kingdom is seeking happiness. How much happiness we all want? For how long? We'll have to say what will be the answer of everybody. I want happiness all the time, lots of happiness. Well, let me think. I want infinite happiness. जो कभी समाप्त ना हो. So where can we get that? Do we have it? No matter what we do in the world, misery and dukh follows us like a shadow. Money, position, material possession, they might give us few flickering joy here and there, but eventually we feel lost, unhappy, and miserable. So, Lord Krishna promises in Gita that if we get this self-knowledge or Atmagyan and we abide in it, we will be free of misery, unhappiness, and sorrow. But don't misunderstand. Not that the sorrow will not come to us, or problems will not come to us, or dukh will not come to us. But we will not get disturbed by it. We will not lose our mind. We will keep the balance of our mind. And we will be established in that bliss deep inside our hearts, no matter what happens around us. I think that this is pretty darn good reason to read, study, and contemplate Gita. Why do so many people get attracted to it since 5,000 years? And if to be precise, 5,158 years ago, it was told. It has not lost its charm, but slowly the charm is increasing in my mind. So there are like atheists, theists, saints, philosophers, scholars, scientists, rulers, commoners, all alike. They read Bhagavad Gita, quote Bhagavad Gita, debate on it, research on it, comment on it, reflect on it, meditate on it, chant it, worship it. They seek solace and guidance from it. And this Bhagavad Gita, it says Bhagavan Uvacha, means Bhagwan is speaking. It is coming straight from the lips of Bhagwan himself. And where it's coming from? It's part of Mahabharata. And when did it happen? Right before the war started. We all know that picture of the chariot where Arjun is, it folded his hand, on his knees, and Krishna Bhagwan is giving him the Gita Gyan. And right in the middle of the two armies before the war started. So some people actually, there's one Drishtat is there, they believe, some saints and sages, that these ancient sages and sages were very clever. They put the Atma Gyan in the form of Gita right in the middle of Mahabharata. And you are reading it like a soap opera, it's like a juicy stories, all this hangama is happening. And before you go further, you have to go through Gita to finish it. And the climax is, I don't know, suppose somebody doesn't know anything about the story, anything about the war, story of Mahabharata. And you have come to a point that these two, families are, fight the biggest war and you don't know the outcome. And that's when you give the Atma Gyan. So you have to go through it to find out what happens. And then you might get very, very lucky and pay attention to it, this Atma Gyan, and learn about it. So everybody will have to go through it, whoever is studying the Mahabharata. So actually speaking, Gita is the most important part in the whole of Mahabharata. It's like a beautiful diamond pendant on a necklace. Necklace is Mahabharata, pendant is Gita. That's how important it is. However, another very important point. When Lord Krishna delivered the Gita, it was the right time, right place, and Lord Krishna was one with the highest truth, Brahman, highest reality. He was in meditation. So it seems that later on, after the war was over and all that, Arjuna one time asked him when they were sitting together to Lord Krishna, can you please repeat this Gita that you gave me? And Lord Krishna said, masterpiece cannot be repeated. And then he did speak, but that's just called Anugita. Whoever is a writer or writes poetry and all that, and how it's the right moment, it just flows through you. And later on you maybe even sit and try to write something similar, it won't come. That's what it is. right time, right place. And he was one with that Brahman at that time. And Lord Krishna himself declared to Arjuna, Geeta me hridayam partha. Geeta, O Arjuna, is my very heart. So how fond of Krishna Bhagwan is of Geeta, that he's telling Arjun, it's my heart. And if you love Krishna Bhagwan, you will want to know what is in his heart. So Geeta answers all the questions that come to our mind, the most fundamental question, as well as, many other questions also. It's a complete science and art of living. So I put together some questions. There's a lot more, but here it is. Some fundamental question that may come to our mind. Who am I? Where have I come from? Do I exist after I die? If I do, where am I going? Does God exist? Who is God? What is this world? How it came into existence? What is the relationship between God, me, and the world? What is death? I know it's coming one day. How do I prepare for it? Where do we go after death? How can I be happy and face the challenge of the world? What is meditation and how to do it? What is heaven? What is the purpose of it? What is moksha, liberation? You can call it nirvana, freedom, beatitude, nishreya. All these words are there. How do I achieve that? What benefit will I get if I get moksha? Then the other question could be, what is ego? How do I manage that? What is worship? How do I perform highest kind of worship? Do I pray to formless, nirgun nirakar, or God with form, sagun sakar? How do I see God in everyone and everything? How do I see God in the world? Does the entire cosmos really exist in God? How? Why does God take avatar? How does he take avatar? What is the purpose of it? What is the nature? What is this nature? What is this prakriti? And what it is made up of? What is Maya and how to overcome it? And another level of question Geeta answers is, what is action? What am I supposed to do? What are my duties? How do I define my duties? What are my daily and special duties? What is selfish action versus selfless action? How do I act in the world? Where does negative and positive qualities come from? How do I abide in positive qualities? If I have strong likes and dislikes, how do I handle it? What is anger and how do I overcome anger? How do I control my anger, right? And where does traits like greed and fear and all these things come from? And what are the consequences of holding to the greed? If I have a greed or if I keep on holding on it, and fear, if I keep holding on it, what will be the consequences? And how do I do the charity? Everybody's asking for money, donation, this, that. How do I define that? What should I do? What is a good charity? How do I, all that is in there too. And then what kind of sadhana I should do? What is mind? I know everybody has a mind, but what is that and how do I control it? What is anxiety and how do I control my anxiety? What is yoga and what role does it play in my spiritual advancement? And what kind of food should I eat? That is also there. Okay? Because these days, ye diet, wo diet, 1000 kisam ki diet, why don't you go and see what Krishna Bhagwan is saying? And how scientific he is in his approach about diet. And what is Shraddha? We always say Shraddha honi chahiye. But how do I develop? What is the definition of Shraddha? What is the role of a guru, a spiritual teacher? How do I approach a guru? वो भी बताया उन्होंने. And then leadership के बारे में बताया. एक अच्छे लीडर को कैसा बनना चाहिए? तो how to be a good leader? And then teamwork के बारे में बताया कि teamwork में कैसे काम करना चाहिए and what are the benefits of teamwork? Krishna Bhagwan said it. And then सभी ने सुना है caste system, so-called caste system.
इतना उसका रूप बिगाड़ के रखा हुआ है और इतना कंफ्यूजन है, वर्ड भी ठीक नहीं है, बिकॉज ये वर्ड कास्ट सिस्टम हमारे हिंदुओं का नहीं है, हमारे सनातन धर्म का बिल्कुल नहीं है, उसको वर्ण व्यवस्था बोलते हैं, और उसके बारे में पूरा एक श्लोक है. और इज इट फ्रॉम बर्थ और इज इट, देन ही इज गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन, नो इट इज फ्रॉम गुणा एंड कर्मा. सो दैट्स अनदर ह्यूज टॉपिक, बट इट्स all that is there and you will have a complete clarity. You will not be confused. फिर कोई प्रश्न भी पूछेगा ना, तुम आंसर दे सकोगे, you know. So and सन्यासी की डेफिनेशन क्या है? Revolutionary definition उन्होंने बताई सन्यासी की. And then, and you know, all these great saints and sages, you know, men of self-realization, we call them, you know, like Vivekananda, Yogananda, Chinmayanand ji, Prabhupada ji, Sadhguru also is there right now, Shri Ravi Shankar, all these great personalities, you know, उनको बोलते हैं मैन ऑफ स्टडी विजडम, स्थित प्रज्ञ संस्कृत में बोलते हैं. सो वो कैसे होते हैं, वो कैसे काम करते हैं दुनिया में, हाउ दे आर सो काम एंड बैलेंस्ड, एंड उनकी मेंटल कंडीशन क्या होती है, उसके बारे में पूरे 18 श्लोक हैं उसके बारे में. एंड सो हाउ, एंड देन हमारे सेंस ऑर्गन्स, यू नो, दे वांट टू कीप रनिंग इन द वर्ल्ड. सो हाउ डू आई मैनेज दैट? एंड दिस इज जस्ट अ स्मॉल लिस्ट. So besides that, we have many fundamental questions. I thought I should not go beyond this because then we'll be sitting here forever. But there are many other questions that are answered over there, by Lord Krishna. So this is a complete handbook of life as well as death, I would call it, both. Because life and death is just two sides of one same coin. So it tells us how to live and how to die both, and what happens afterwards. Complete thing. So what Krishna Bhagwan was actually talking to all of us through Arjuna. Arjuna तो खाली एक निमित्त और बहाना था, हम ही से बात करना चाहते थे वो. So ये सब, और क्या है कि हमारी धरती पे ये सब बोला गया है. हम सब इंडिया से प्रेम करते हैं, राइट? वहाँ से आए हमारे कण कण में बसा हुआ है, तभी हम लोग मंदिर वगैरह में आते हैं. तो हमारी धरती पे 5000 साल पहले हमारा हेरिटेज है ये, राइट? सो सारी दुनिया पढ़ रही है, और हम क्यों नहीं इसको पढ़े, राइट? उसको समझो, उसको कॉन्टेम्पलेट करो उसके ऊपर. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग कि हम सबको पढ़ना चाहिए. इतने सारे फेमस लोग उसको पढ़ते हैं, और नाम सुना, महात्मा गांधी भी पढ़ते थे, लेकिन आउटसाइड दैट इंडिया और भी लोकमान्य तिलक, पता नहीं कितने कितने लोग पढ़ते हैं उसको. लेकिन यू नो, वेस्टर्न देखो, किसी को देखना हो तो थोरो, एडलस हक्सली, रॉबर्ट ओपनहाइमर, मूवी भी बना दी उन्होंने, एमरसन, कार्ल यंग, निकोला टेस्ला, all these people read and they get benefit, so why not us, right? And it is translated into every major language in the world. कौन सा भी तो आपको चाहिए मिल जाएगा. और अगर वर्नैक्युलर लैंग्वेज इंडिया का, हर एक लैंग्वेज में उसको ट्रांसलेट किया गया है. और एक मेरे को किसी ने दी थी जिसमें पूरी पोइट्री हिंदी में बताई गई है. एक कवि ने पूरी एक श्लोक उसका हिंदी में किया हुआ है. सो और भी क्या स्पेशल चीज़ है इसमें कि इट्स अ यूनिवर्सल इश्यूज. जो भी इसमें है ना, कि वो कभी पुराना नहीं होता वो इशू, बिकॉज वो ह्यूमन माइंड, ह्यूमन सोल, ह्यूमन, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर द सेम. चाहे 5000 पहले जन्म लिया हो अभी, या 5000 साल के बाद आप जन्म लेंगे, लेकिन तो इट इज़ applicable all time, all places, all circumstances, you know. And then it is applicable to everybody. It's not like, don't look at it just like a religious book or anything, you know. If you do, great, I'm nothing against it, but it's a lot more than that, you know. It's like a manual of life. So anytime, any place, caste, creed, gender, nationality, religion, culture is no bar for it. Everybody can benefit. And you know, it's applicable now, before, and in the future. And every time you read it, once you get hooked to it, it will feel fresh. You know, you can read it 100 times and it's like a sunrise. कभी हम लोग बोर होते हैं, sunlight, sunset और sunrise, ऐसा होता है एकदम fresh. So, and these days, I have seen on internet, it is used as a, उसके जो principle वहाँ से निकाल के गाइड टू बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट की तरह यूज करते हैं लोग अभी. हैंडबुक फॉर पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप, सीक्रेट ऑफ लार्ज प्रॉफिट्स, क्या क्या नाम दिया उनको. और हमारे गुरुदेव चिन्मयानंद जी ने एक बुक लिखी है, आर्ट ऑफ मैन मेकिंग, कि हाउ डू आई बिकम अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग. सारा गीता का प्रिंसिपल्स हैं. So that's what it is. And Chinmayanand ji, he taught Gita every day of his life, adult life, until he passed away, Mahasamadhi he took. So, and some interesting one or two things now, I want to tell facts. जिसने भी गीता पढ़ी होगी वो शुरू होता है धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र इज द फर्स्ट वर्ड धर्म इज द फर्स्ट वर्ड एंड लास्ट वर्ड इज मम इफ यू गो टू गीता यू विल सी द मम मतिर मम और धर्म को मिला दो मम धर्मा व्हाट इज माय ड्यूटी सो पूरा उसका जो टॉपिक है ना वो एक फर्स्ट और लास्ट वर्ड में उन्होंने डाल दिया इतना मतलब साइंटिफिक है एंड सम इंटरेस्टिंग जस्ट फॉर फन से the number 18 is very auspicious in India. So महाभारत में ना 18 sections है उसको पर्व बोलते हैं. So 18 sections हो गए और the war lasted how many days? 18 days. And there were how many division of armies? 18. 11 एक तरफ थी 7 एक तरफ. 18 का आप देखो महात्मा और 18 पुराणाज हैं 18 पुराण और चैप्टर कितने हैं गीता में 18 so 18 का मजा एंड एक उपनिषद भी है ईशावास्य उसमें 18 श्लोक्स है वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट दैट वाज फन पार्ट ऑफ इट एंड देन पर्सनली आई थिंक दैट लॉर्ड कृष्णा वाज द ग्रेटेस्ट साइकियाट्रिस्ट ऑफ ऑल काइंड्स Arjun has a nervous breakdown. Somebody was so strong and all crying like a baby, dropped his weapon. 700 verses में मतलब जब उसने बोला कि मैं डिप्रेस हो गया हूं तो कृष्ण भगवान ने 911 को नहीं बुलाया उसको बैठ जाए इधर 700 वर्सेस में उसका पूरा कायाकल्प कर दिया उसका माइंड एकदम चेंज कर दिया वो खड़ा हो गया ड्यूटी करने के लिए सेल्फ रियलाइज बना दिया उसको so that's what is the mahatmya of this and just we may not know the value of it, but some of these universities also know the value of it. Because one of my nephew, he got admission long time ago. This was 25 years ago. He got admission in Stanford, and he got so excited. He came back and told me, "Bua, what did I get to read in the summer? What did they tell me? They call it summer reading. They told them to go read Bhagavad Gita." I was like so amazed, And then there was one of my friends, she said that, she always liked to keep Geeta with her. And one time she was traveling and she went to some remote part. I forgot now which country she said. She said, मैं वहाँ गई और मेरे को ध्यान में आया मैं गीता भूल गई. So she was missing it because she was going to be there for business for a week or so. So इसको एक बुक स्टोर दिखाई दिया तो वो डर के गई उनको तो मुझे मालूम है क्या है गीता वगैरह तो उसको कैसे समझा रही है कि ये वो तो मैं you are talking about Bhagavad Gita, which version do you want? They knew it. हम लोग को लगता है कि नहीं होगा. And personally, मेरी एक फ्रेंड है, क्रिश्चियन फ्रेंड है वो, इंडिया से है और उसकी मदर आई थी. So when she found out कि I go to Chinmaya Mission, this, that, so she started talking to me and she said, "Oh, I read Bhagavad Gita and I just loved it." And you know what? After I read Bhagavad Gita, I understood Bible better. She told me that. This is a Christian person telling me that, open-minded Christian person. So this is what it is, And if we call ourselves Hindu, we say we are Sanatan Dharmi and all that, great, it is good. But I personally think if we identify like that, we must read Bhagavad Gita. Because then we will understand the glory of our, scriptures, the grandeur of our scriptures, and, we will understand, of our religion and how far-reaching and all-encompassing it is, how magnificent it is that we will know it. And then another thing is that, we live in the foreign country. A lot of people ask a lot of questions. Ye kya hai, wo kya hai. Sometimes, we are confused ourselves about it. We might give wrong answer. We may not understand. You will get a clarity. है क्या? You will be खुद के लिए भी clarity है, किसी को और सिखाने के लिए भी है. किसी को और क्वेश्चन कोई पूछे तो कॉन्फिडेंस से आप कर सकोगे सही आंसर. सो इसके लिए मुझे लगता है कि करना चाहिए. और if we call ourselves a devotee of Lord Krishna, then also I feel like, okay, we need to do namaskar, aarti, pranam. I also do all of that. And, but the most important, if you ask me, is to, if you say that you are a Lord Krishna's devotee, you must read Bhagavad Gita because that's where he's telling you who he is. If you love Lord Krishna, that is his hridaya. And he's telling you, पूरा रिवील किया है कि मैं हूँ कौन, राइट? सो तुम अपने बारे में वो बता रहे हैं, तो किसी से हम प्रेम करते हैं तो उसके बारे में जानना चाहते हैं, राइट? सो ये एक माध्यम है उनको जानने का. So, and then when we say that, hey, reading Bhagavad Gita, this is not like a book that you just read like a story and put it away. No. It has to become a companion of you for rest of your life. Because the more you read and contemplate on it every day, or whenever you can, according to your schedule, it will never fail you. Each time you go into it, it's like बोलते हैं महासागर में डुबकी लगा के कुछ रत्न लेके आप ऊपर बाहर निकलोगे. So every time you read, it will speak to you deeper and deeper and deeper. मोक्ष तक ले जाने का साधन है ये. So that's what I would have to say, that this is what it is. So I'm going to stop here. I finished in time. But anybody has any question, any comment, whoever reads Gita, yes.
You mentioned that the Bhagavad Gita has 700 slokas?
700, yeah.
700 slokas, and you teach this on a weekly basis.
So, yeah, we go very much in detail. There are a couple of people who are in my class. So we do one shloka at a time. Yeah. So it's been going on for several years now. So
in several years you finished the whole Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, we are on chapter 9. We are right smack in the middle of it, 18th chapter. But, the way I look at it, the way my class is, and whoever is there can say, you will kind of get it because all the shlokas are related to each other, So if somebody wants to start and don't know where to start, you're welcome in our class, no problem. And because I think there are a lot of people who join later and they also connect, even if they've never read Gita. That's how I feel, but I may be saying because it's my class now. You can try it. It's free. So.
I'm her student and I can vouch to that. I started in the middle. I was looking for something and I found her, thankfully. And it's true that I didn't understand a word of it. You can read and not really fully understanding the deeper meanings. And through her, she being our guru, it's been a great pleasure. So yes, anybody can join and enjoy it.
So I consider I'm friend of all of you. I'm one of you. But just together we study. So if you want to bring your own whatever comment and also it's like I explain it and then I open it up for so.
Can you tell us more about your class? Where do you have it?
So it's on Zoom. It's very easy now. It's on Wednesday from 11 to 12:30, and you can get the phone number, and we have a WhatsApp group, and I just add on it.
What I can do is I send text to everybody.
Yeah.
I'll include the contact.
Yeah, it's very easy, and it's open to anybody who wants to come. It's not a problem at all. Yeah, it's casual, and it's just the whole idea is just to study, and yes.
You mentioned something about the caste system. Is it possible you briefly can tell us how this came into being?
Okay, sure. I'll briefly say it. So there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 4. The Krishna Bhagavan says, so caste system, it's not like, firstly, it is not by birth according to Lord Krishna, okay? We are a group of, say, 50 people over here, right? Each one has their own personality. So broadly, the human personality is divided into 4. This is just a broad classification. It doesn't mean that you're fixed in one caste, but one is a Brahmin, the one who are like more contemplative, who have more sattvic qualities, who love to study, do research and all, unko Brahman. I'm just very broadly I'm saying. The whole topic I can take another hour talking about it, but just briefly. And there are others who are bodily very strong, and then they have this valor and this and all that. So they will be called Kshatriyas. And the third kind of business-minded people. Unko kahin bhi bitha do, they know how to deal with numbers, how to generate income. So those are Vaishyas. And the Shudras are the kind of people who say, don't tell me this or don't tell me that. Meko kaam bata do, main kar dunga. Very good at their skills, right? Whatever they do. They don't want to think too much and all that. So these are the broad categories, and human being, not just in India, the entire world, जहाँ भी humans हैं, वो सबको आप ये 4 में divide कर सकते हो. जस्ट फॉर द एंड एक सोसाइटी को रन करने के लिए चारों चाहिए. एक खाली सभी ब्राह्मण हो जाएंगे तो नहीं हो सकता काम. जैसे कंपनी है, कंपनी में विजनरी भी चाहिए. कंपनी में चाहिए कि भाई पीपल हु आर लाइक एग्जीक्यूटर्स, मीन्स जो विजन है उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने वाले भी चाहिए. देयर आर क्षत्रियर्स. देन यू नीड बिजनेस मन. पैसे के बिना कैसे चलेगी कंपनी? हाउ टू जनरेट द मनी. फिर वर्कर्स चाहिए. वो तीनों मिल गया कोई काम करने वाला ही नहीं है. फैक्ट्री हो तो कुछ फैक्ट्री के लिए और जो भी. सो ये चार जो है ना हाउस होल्ड में भी चाहिए. वन वुमन इज ऑल फोर एंड मैन ऑल्सो दिस डेज, राइट. तो सब कुछ चाहिए, लेकिन हर एक का ना एक बेंट होता है कि भाई मेरा ये है. अगर आप कोई बिजनेसमैन को पॉलिटिक्स में डाल दो तो वहां पर भी वो रिश्वत खाना शुरू कर देगा. आई एम सॉरी, दैट्स अ नेगेटिव वे टू से इट. उधर भी बिजनेस डील बनाना शुरू कर देगा. सो ही इज बेटर ऑफ डूइंग अ बिजनेस. दैट्स व्हाट द कास्ट सिस्टम इज. सो you are born with certain tendencies, and if you do that work according to your tendency, you will do a great job. You will be happy, and then you will have more time for atmagyan. But किसी को कोई किसी चीज में इंटरेस्ट है, तुम जबरदस्ती उसको कोई काम कराते जाओ, वो नहीं कर पाएगा. लेकिन वर्ण को बदला जा सकता है, लेकिन उसके लिए मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. So that's what it is broadly. Any other question, comment by anyone? Okay. We are going around over here. So I'm going to just do a closing prayer. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Thank you everybody for patiently